My name is Grace Thompson. I'm 93 years old. 427 days ago, my children left me at a nursing home. I believed it was the day my life ended. My youngest son drove that morning. No one spoke during the entire ride. Sometimes, silence hurts more than words ever could. When we stopped, I looked up and read the words on the building: Willow Creek Nursing Home. My heart sank before I opened the door. I kept telling myself they were only bringing me here for a few weeks, until I felt stronger again. My daughter hugged me longer than usual. She whispered, "We'll visit soon." I believed every single word. I watched my children walk toward their cars. They waved one last time, then disappeared beyond the parking lot. That was the first time in 93 years I had no home waiting for me. Everything fit inside one small suitcase. Somehow, 93 years of memories had become just a few belongings. That first night, I didn't cry because I was angry. I cried because the room didn't know my name. The next morning, strangers smiled and called me Miss Grace. They were kind, but kindness isn't the same as family. Every afternoon, I chose the chair closest to the front entrance. I wanted to be the first one to see my children arrive. Families came with flowers, balloons, and grandchildren. Every time the doors opened, I looked up. By sunset, the parking lot was empty again. I smiled at the receptionist and quietly returned to my room. 7 days passed. I still kept my favorite cardigan hanging by the door, just in case someone came to take me home. That evening, I crossed off my 7th day on the calendar. I had no idea it would become 427. Monday morning arrived. I kept telling myself, maybe they were just busy yesterday. Hope can be a stubborn thing. Every day followed the same schedule: breakfast, medication, television, lunch, dinner, sleep. Somewhere along the way, time stopped feeling important. The woman across the hall smiled every morning. Her name was Eleanor. She'd been waiting for her son for almost 3 years. No one asked why we were there. We all knew the answer, and some heartbreaks don't need introductions. Every afternoon, the receptionist called out names for letters and visitors. I listened carefully, hoping to hear mine. When the last envelope was gone, I smiled anyway. I didn't want anyone to see disappointment becoming my closest companion. I started recognizing the sounds: the breakfast cart, the medicine cart, the cleaning cart. Somehow, they became my clock. Every evening, I opened the same old photo album. Inside those pages, my family still lived together. Fridays were the hardest. Families filled the hallways with flowers, hugs, and laughter. I watched from my doorway and smiled for strangers. Every Friday afternoon, someone played the old piano in the lobby. The music reminded me of the home I couldn't stop missing. One morning, Eleanor's room was empty. Her bed had already been made. No one needed to explain what had happened. Days became weeks. Weeks quietly became months. Inside these walls, calendars mattered more than clocks. On my 94th birthday, the nurses sang to me. My children called that evening, but no one came. Every sunset, I sat by the same window. Hope was fading, but somehow it never completely disappeared. 183 days had passed. I no longer counted the missed visits. I counted the memories that kept me alive. On day 184, someone knocked on my door. I expected another nurse. Instead, I met a little girl who smiled as if she'd known me forever. Her name was Emma. Every Wednesday, she visited people who didn't have family nearby. She chose to spend her afternoon with me. I hadn't laughed in months. Somehow, that little girl made me forget where I was for just a few minutes. The following Wednesday, she came back. Then the Wednesday after that. Soon, Wednesdays became my favorite day of the week. Emma loved asking questions about my childhood. For the first time in years, someone wanted to hear my story. Across the hall lived Walter, a 96-year-old retired firefighter who still believed every morning was worth celebrating. Walter invited me to the morning coffee table. At first, I almost said no. Then I remembered how lonely saying yes had become. We stopped talking about illness. Instead, we talked about first loves, old jobs, terrible cooking, and unforgettable summers. One afternoon, Emma asked if I'd help her plant flowers. I hadn't touched fresh soil in years. As tiny flowers began to grow, something inside me quietly started growing too. I started visiting new residents on their first day. I knew exactly how frightened they felt. Without realizing it, I had stopped waiting to be rescued. I had started helping other people survive. Emma gave me a leather journal. She said, "Write your memories, so they never disappear." By day 300, I realized something remarkable. I still missed my children, but they were no longer the only reason I woke up each morning. On day 301, the receptionist walked toward me holding the phone. She smiled and quietly said, "Grace, it's your daughter." For a few seconds, neither of us spoke. Then my daughter whispered, "Mom, I don't think I've been a very good daughter." She told me something I'd never imagined. They hadn't stopped loving me. They had convinced themselves I was happier without them. Emma had mailed copies of my journal to each of my children. None of them knew I spent every Sunday waiting. My oldest son said he cried halfway through the first page. He finally saw the loneliness I had hidden behind every phone call. 427 days after I arrived, my children walked through those front doors together. No one rushed to explain. No one defended the past. We simply stood there, crying in each other's arms. I told them something that surprised us all. "I'm not angry. I was only afraid you'd forgotten me." My children asked me to come home. I smiled, then quietly shook my head. This place was no longer where I had been abandoned. It had become the place where I found myself again. Instead of waiting alone, I started spending every Sunday with my children and every Wednesday with Emma. I kept welcoming every new resident. I wanted them to know they weren't walking into the end of life, only a different chapter. Loneliness still visited sometimes, but it no longer lived inside me. At 94, I discovered something beautiful. It's never too late to forgive, and never too late to begin again. I used to think home was a building. Now I know, home is wherever love finds you again. If your parents are still waiting for your call, don't make them wait another Sunday. Love isn't measured by promises. It's measured by the time you choose to give.